Hello and welcome to installing GNS3 on Linux. My name is Mansoor Nathani and today my goal is to show you how to install GNS3 version 1.2.3 using the source on Ubuntu 14.10. I did a previous video on this earlier, so it's going to be pretty similar to that last video, except this time I'm going to include QEMU. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. QEMU, which is used for ASA firewall and such. So what I have here is an Ubuntu virtual machine, pretty much stock, just installed with a few add-ons like Google Chrome. And on the next slide you'll see here, these are the dependencies required to install GNS3. So let's get started. As you can see, I'm already running tmux here. We can actually just copy and paste this. Now I'm already logged in as root, but if you're not logged in as root, you can just type in sudo in front of this command and go ahead and install. So this take a few minutes. I'll have a link to these dependencies and any instructions that I've used in the description for the YouTube video. So like I mentioned on the previous video, as well as on my site with the instructions previously, there's another way to go without installing it from source, and that involves just going into Ubuntu and requesting apt-get install GNS3. So you got an older version, but today we're trying to get the new version, so we'll follow these steps here. Another thing I did for this video is change the resolution of my screen so the text is a bit larger. Hopefully that makes it easier to view. Now I've switched to a directory user local source, and this is where I'm going to be downloading all the repositories and compiling everything from here. So I'm going to make a directory called GNS3 in here. And within this folder directory, I'm going to clone the git repo of GNS3 GUI. Once that's done, I'll switch to that directory and then launch the Python install script. Once that's done, I'm going to go back to the actually I didn't want to do that. I wanted to install 1.2.3, so I'm going to check that out. Run that command again. Switch back to the parent directory and clone the server. Same thing here. Check out the previous version, which is 1.2.3. And run the Python install script. So now the next step is go back out and clone the Dynamips. Switch to Dynamips, make a directory called build, switch to build, cmake space ... and then make install. And the last step that says create a symbolic link from user local bin Dynamips to user bin Dynamips. So there we've created our symbolic link. I'm just going to launch GNS3. Cancel this. Go into preferences. QEMU VMs. You don't want to download the new version. Looks like this requires a different screen resolution. Alright, I've changed my screen resolution so I can see so the RAM disk, I put it in on the desktop. And same thing with the other file. Okay, that's the ASA. Okay, there's another dependency required, which is called CPU limit. I'll add that to the list of the ASA is booting. And while that's happening, I'm gonna locate an iOS image. Just to demonstrate that this does work. Looks like the ASA is booting. And similarly, we have the 7200 router using the GNS3 as well. There you can see the routers come up and is working just fine. The firewall looks like it's still initializing. I don't really work with firewalls, so I'm not sure what to expect here. Hopefully some kind of a prompt where I can enter commands, but we can see that the NICs are coming up. Anyway, I hope this has been informative for you, and thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the website for notes and more videos, more recent videos. Once again, thank you for watching.